Donald Trump is likely going to fire another round of attack against Iran this week. He has already made this publicly known, and I'm pretty sure Iran is not going to back down either. Except you have been living under a rock, then you should definitely know that there is a war between Israel, US, and Iran, and this war has significant effects on the economy. Apart from the disastrous effects that it's going to cause, there could be opportunities laying around in this market. In this video, I'm going to be discussing what is going on in the Middle East, what are we to expect, and where do the opportunities lie right now. But first of all, let's do a little backstory. Do you know that the relationship between the US and Iran wasn't always like this? As a matter of fact, they used to be very good friends.
Iran, because of the great leadership of the Shah, is an island of stability in one of the more troubled areas of the world.
In the 1950s, Tehran was the Paris of the Middle East. There was high fashion over there, there was jazz music, and American cars were everywhere. The US did not just like Iran, they were practically allies. The US needed them. But later on, things changed a little bit. Iran elected a new president, and this president wasn't so friendly with the US. As a matter of fact, this new president wanted to take over control of his own country's oil, which makes sense, right? Because he felt like it was their oil, so they should control it. But the UK specifically did not like this. So they orchestrated with the US to have this guy ejected, and they actually succeeded. So they put a new king, the Shah, in charge. For good 25 years, this worked until it didn't. In 1979, the Iranian people revolted. They kicked out the Shah because they felt like he was a puppet to Americans, which they were right about. And then they took 52 Americans hostage for over a year. Whatever friendship they had turned into enmity real quick, and it has practically lasted for generations up until now. If you've seen the news within the last 24 hours, then you know that US and Israel literally struck Iran in what they called Operation Epic Fury. The narrative that the US is putting out there is that they struck because Iran is building nuclear weapons. While that may be true about Iran, the United States may have exaggerated it just to justify what they are doing. However, just from the backstory that I gave just now, you know that this war is deeper than the surface level. I sincerely think that part of this is the reason why the Iran has been building up their defense, and also the reason they refuse to come into an agreement with the US concerning the deadly weapons that they are creating. Within 1 hour of the attack against Iran, they retaliated rapidly. They attacked Israel and sent hundreds of missiles all over the Middle East, targeting US military bases specifically. So we can practically say they attacked both Israel and the US. Now at this point, it is the turn of the US to retaliate. It is likely that the US is going to attack this week, because Donald Trump had threatened that if Iran should ever retaliate, they will receive the wrath of the US like never seen before. Ever since this attack, the Iranian currency has plummeted against the dollar really bad, crashing almost to zero. Now let's talk about the economic aspect of this. You see, since we've established that this is actually a control of crude oil issue, there's a particular region that is of great concern, and that is the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is a tiny waterway that is located between Iran and Oman, but basically this pathway controls over 20% of the world's crude oil supply, meaning a short of this flow is going to affect the prices of crude oil significantly. Right now, Iran is threatening to shut the gates. They've told every tanker turn around or be sunk. If that pathway closes, this could literally lead to the recession that I've been talking about since, but it's not going to be a normal one. It's going to be very disastrous. Oil prices will skyrocket. Gas, food, electricity, everything will be affected by this. It could lead to the greatest recession of all time. I guess right now I've already hinted you as to where the opportunities may lie. So today we are going to be looking at a couple of charts. First of all, we are going to be starting with oil stocks. We are going to be looking at ExxonMobil, Nigerian oil stocks. We're also going to be looking at the US dollar index, as well as the Iranian currency, and also try to see where prices are likely to go in the short term while this conflict is unfolding. If this is something you're interested in, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, share, and do all that nice stuff, because this video is going to be packed with a lot. Let's get into it. Alright, so looking through something like ExxonMobil, for instance, you can see very clearly that it has had a breakout. This is a resistance level that has been formed since the beginning of March in 2008. Can you imagine? So literally since 2008, there has been a resistance on ExxonMobil. Same thing here. We had a massive rejection here on April of 2014. Another one here, June 2016, which led to the massive crash in COVID, and then massive recovery as well. So this was a recession, obviously, and I'm looking for another entry opportunity So this was a recession, obviously, and this would have been the best buying opportunity. But the question is, what is going to happen next with this stock? Personally, I'm interested in crude oil. I'm not even going to lie. Even if I'm just buying and holding some for a few, I'm definitely interested in them. Let's go into Nigerian stocks. Let's see what's going on with Nigerian oil stocks. This is corn oil. So corn oil is a little bit of more interest to me since it's been down significantly, and some of its indicators are suggesting that it's probably going to rally. But keep in mind, this is on a monthly time frame though, and I actually did purchase just a little of it, nothing too serious like that. And the reason I'm not going all in on these assets is simply because of the fact that I believe that a recession is on the way. And usually how a recession comes into play is right after oil stocks rally. After they rally and then they are correcting, then you get a recession. And that would definitely lead to the best buying opportunity ever. Let's look at some other oil stocks. Let's look at O&O. O&O is consolidating, but yeah, if this will actually continues and that pathway that we talked about still gets restricted, then we are likely going to see this one consolidate and continue upwards, probably maybe after liquidating a few weekends here and then probably rise to the upside. I don't know, really. We're just going to have to see how this war unfolds. But yeah, this chart looks interesting because of what is going on right now. Now, if we go to something like the US dollar index, and if we check this out, the US dollar is actually still sitting at a very, very huge support level that I've been talking about for a while. Those who have been following me for a while know about this chart. Unfortunately, it has not really played out the way I expected it, but yeah, it has been consolidating around a support level, and it is likely that dollars is actually going to get stronger, which is a very interesting situation because for the past couple of months now, the Nigerian naira has been trading better against the dollar, and that has been the result for the Nigerian naira. So if the US dollar is developing strength around here and this place happens to be a support and then prices start to go up, then you should expect that the Nigerian naira may get affected as well. Maybe not, but it is most likely, in my opinion anyway. Let's have a look at the Nigerian naira. So this is the Nigerian naira on the chart, and I've been projecting that this place is going to be a major area to check out. That area is between 1,300, which is where we are right now, down to 1,200. This is the support level that we have to watch out for the Nigerian naira. Any break below this level is probably going to send prices as low as 800 naira per dollar, and that would be awesome for the Nigerian economy. But just now, before I came to this chart, I was looking at the US dollar index, and if the US dollar index does play out to be strong, then you should expect this move that I marked out here. This would be a move to expect, and the dollar will just keep gaining against the naira. Now, if we go over to the crypto aspect of this, nothing much has been going on in crypto. Crypto is significantly still down. There really isn't much going on with Bitcoin, although Bitcoin is in the middle of a little bit of recovery. Let's check a clean chart. Right now, there are signs indicating that Bitcoin is about to go into a range bound situation, which I talked about in my last analysis that I did on social media, TikTok or Instagram, one of the two is probably there. But this is what I was talking about. This is the range situation for Bitcoin. And as you can see, it has been ranging around this area since. I expect prices to get here a bit, maybe to 70k, and then return back down. We are probably creating a rising wedge at this point because we already have higher lows, and we just need to see what's going to happen moving forward. But we could be forming something that will look like this. Let me draw this out. Something that looks like this. So this is basically a bear flag in a situation whereby we have prices ranging between these areas here like this until it breaks below it, so this would be the level to watch out for if we are looking at prices to break below. Once this pattern is done forming, we are looking at prices to sweep below 60k. So we'll probably be heading lower than that if this pattern turns out to be correct. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens at the end of the day. But this market definitely looks interesting, even though it's not too bullish it's not really a bullish environment. But the fact that there are opportunities upwards makes it a little bit interesting, even though the situation of a war has to play out before this opportunity can present itself. Unfortunately, this is just the way the economy works. We don't create the game, we can't do anything about the game. The least we can do for ourselves is try to participate, and that's what I'm doing right now. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, share, and do all that nice stuff. I will see you in the very next one. Bye.